Hey guys, welcome back. Welcome back to another video. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about Elio. Because Elio is, it's not doing very well in the theaters. A shocker to probably really no one. I think a lot of people figured this movie wasn't going to do well. But I do want to kind of talk about my thoughts on this. And just think about what the future of Disney and Pixar will be. But before I get any further, please hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. Make sure you guys are still subscribed because I think there's been some glitching stuff on YouTube. I've been noticing some of my videos have been disappearing from my playlist randomly and all that. Like, God, I'm not gonna lie, I am so sick of this damn AI and all that, Now, to be fair, this stuff was not really, to be fair, before AI got this bad, some of this shit has not been really fixed on YouTube and other platforms, but I feel like it's definitely gotten worse. But I still plan to talk about a video discussing the AI and all that as a whole. Also, you guys can follow me on Instagram and Twitter. And, I think that's all I really have to say. Or I guess I'll say this too, if you guys don't like me talking about pop culture stuff, and my thoughts on it, you guys can check out my reviews or Let's Plays too. I do different stuff on my channel, because, I like to, keep, everybody happy, if I can. I mean, I'm not planning on keeping every single person happy, but a good chunk of people, that's why I make all this different stuff, because not only I like taking breaks and talking about other stuff, but, I got that stuff too, but, I do know people are very, split on some of this stuff that's going on, so, yeah. But anywho, yes, we're gonna talk about Elio. So, from no shock at all, Elio it's not doing very well at all. Now, what might shock people is that this movie it's opening weekend, it has done horrible. I think right now it is one of the worst, performing Disney movies of all time. Maybe the worst one. And all that, I don't know, I do know it's the worst Pixar one of all time. And that's saying something because, some of Pixar's movies recently have not been performing well. Lightyear did not do very well. Elemental didn't do well either. I do feel Lightyear was absolute dog shit. I hated that movie so much. I really did. I really hated Lightyear. They had a great idea, with Star Command and all that, and then when they made this movie and all, it felt like it was a big middle finger to, the people who grew up with that show. Now, I didn't even grow up with the, Star Command, and I was pissed off, that they kind of erased everything that made that movie, its show so good, So when they made the 2020, even watching the trailers, I was just they're basically, I saw exactly what they were gonna do. They were gonna erase it from existence and all that and pretend it didn't exist. I saw what they were doing. So there's that. But Elemental was another movie it did make its money back, but it did not perform very well either. It's pretty much just been kind of like this nonstop. I've talked about this before. I told you guys that Disney, from here on out, I think in at least the next few years, I think their movies are either going to, the sequels might make some money, but I don't think they're going to be well received. And then a lot of their other movies are going to outperform, not outperform, they're gonna fail miserably. But they have some movies coming up this year that I don't think are gonna do very well. I've already talked about that, but there are some, Lilo and Stitch did okay, but a lot of people are not very happy of the way they treated the film. Same with Moana 2, and both of those are either sequels or remakes of classic films. And, even then, they're not doing very well. And hell, they have Zootopia 2 coming out at the end of the year. Which Zootopia 2, I'm like, I don't know, I mean, I want the movie to do good. You know, I love the first Zootopia movie. But then I'm like, you know, I'm like in current Disney and all that, I'm just like, I don't know, I'm just not looking forward to it as much. But that's the thing, though. A lot of these, you know, movies and stuff are not doing very well. And Elio is one of them. Now, part of that, apparently, it comes down to this, that a lot of people didn't even see trailers or anything of it, or even advertisements. Now, I did see some trailers, because, you know, I guess I was one of the lucky ones that saw some trailers of it. It actually didn't look too bad. And hell, when it comes out on DVD, I'll probably be buying it right off the bat, you know. It actually doesn't look too bad. I don't know how the movie will be itself. Like, I kind of heard some mixed opinions on it. I'm kind of avoiding spoilers, though, because, you know, I was gonna watch some reviews, you know, but then I was like, you know, I kind of want to, because it could be like Ruby going into the Teenage Kraken. They could have it in the theaters and pull it, you know, early and all that. That's a possibility. Because Ruby Goldman and the Teenage Kraken was DreamWorks' worst performing, you know, movies. And that movie was kind of a mixed bag, you know, as well. But that's kind of the thing, though. It's kind of like that with this movie, too. I mean, I'm going to try to go see it in the theaters, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to go see it. Yeah, that's the thing. I don't know if I'll be able to go to the theaters and see this movie. Because I don't know if I'm going to have the time to do it. And even if I do, I'm afraid they're going to pull the plug on it, you know. But yeah, it's just not doing very well. It's not doing very well at all. And this is kind of concerning when it comes to, you know, Pixar and Disney and all that. And I guess a lot of studios in general, like DreamWorks too and all that, a lot of the original movies are not performing as well. Now with DreamWorks and all that, like, they're some of their original movies, you know, although they're not making as much money as the sequels, they are still making some bank. Disney's movies, on the other hand, are not really making any bank really at all. And what I really hate about this is there's people out there that are like shitting on people and all that, you know, and being like, you know, they bitch about this, but then they go and see Toy Story 5 and all that, or they're gonna go see Toy Story 5, and I'm like, okay, number one, I'm like, yeah, there are people out there that probably will do that. People out there will probably, you know, go and see a sequel despite them bitching about it. But number two, like, you know, I guarantee a lot of this shit is like, you know, like, because when people come out of the theaters, they you know, they talk about their thoughts on it, and like, you know, I've noticed, like, there are, like, people that don't like it or not. And also, like I said, like Avatar 2, The Wave of Water, which is a sequel to the original Avatar, that one somehow made, you know, over $2 billion, which is what it needed to break even, which barely made it. Somehow it made $2 billion, but a lot of people I know didn't even go see it. But they have seen, like, the live action, you know, Lilo and Stitch or something, so it feels like they're kind of making stuff up there. And then, you know, another thing is, too, I'm like, they don't advertise this shit well. So a lot of people don't even fucking know these movies are out. Elemental, for example, like, I didn't even know that movie, you know, was out in the theaters until I heard people talking about it. You know, I did go see it in the theaters, but, you know, I didn't even know it was fucking out because nobody was, no advertisement for it. There was no advertisement for it at all, you know? It was just like, they kind of just threw it in the theaters. It felt like they were just trying to make it fail and all that. It's just fucking annoying. Like, it is annoying they do this shit. But that's kind of how this is, too. You know, it's not very, it's, like, I thought this movie, I think might end up like Elemental. It might make some money back, you know, but I don't think it's gonna do as well as Inside Out 2. And that's not because people are not gonna go see it and I'd rather see a sequel. It's because, you know, like, fucking Disney, you know, out here, it's not advertising their damn movies, so people don't know, you know, something's coming out. But it might make some more money now that it's out, but that's the problem, you know, it's fucking annoying. Like, I hate this so much. I really do hate this, you know, that they do this. But That's kind of the problem. And this is kind of where I'm kind of concerned about Pixar in the future is, now I've talked about before that I have a feeling they're going to shut Pixar down. I don't know, I think Pixar, like right now, it may be saved. Now I think it was probably, I think they were going to shut it down in the past. I think because they were cutting a good chunk of staff and all that, and a lot of the movies were going straight to Disney Plus and all that. But that was under like Chapek. Iger's back now, and say what you want about Iger. I mean, Iger is a piece of shit, but like, you have to admit though, that like, I feel like he probably wouldn't want to shut Pixar down because that's that's what he basically bought it and saved the franchise. He saved it, because it was going to end up like, it was going to be part of Circle 7 Animation, because basically what they're doing, like with Blue Sky right now, is what Pixar was going to end up. Like, they were going to make bank off of sequels of few remaining movies. That's how it is with Blue Sky, because when Disney bought out Blue Sky, that's pretty much what happened with the studio. They shut it down, and there are movies on there, but they only have like 13 to go off of, and only 13 of those, only like 7 of them are original movies. And, some of those, like the Peanuts movie, and, especially Horton Hears the Who, there aren't really any sequels to it, There's not really I don't think a sequel could work with that. I mean, I guess there are, like, other adaptations of Horton Hears the Who and all that, but I think there was actually talk they were going to make one, but they got scrapped a long time ago, or they just never got around to making it, Which is what I was hearing, I don't know if that's true or not, but I'm like, that's the thing, though. It's basically kind of like that, and that's how Pixar was originally going to be. Like, they were going to have a deal making a certain amount of films, and then, like, I don't remember if it was Cars and then Ratatouille, or if it was just, Toy Story, to Cars, to when they were gonna, like, their deal would be off. But I do know that, that Iger did come in and bought out Pixar, so that kind of saved the brand. But still, I'm just like, I do not like Iger and all that. And, what's funny too, I want to point this out, that what's funny too, so speaking of Disney, Disney and all that, I had somebody, like, I was questioning, like, because I was watching these reactors, I don't remember their channel name, but they were like, like this one person was saying I was full of shit and all that, like, I was like, who is Madonna? Like, and apparently somebody was saying I'm full of shit and all that, and I'm just like, because they make this joke. They were watching this episode where they made a joke towards the end of the episode about a minute long, conversation with Francis, Peter, and Brian about Madonna and all that. And I was like, who is that? And I'm just like, I don't know what the hell this person's talking about, but I'm just like, it doesn't make any sense. Hell, actually, real quick, why don't I show you guys the comment, because I'm sure some people might think I'm full of stuff full of shit right now, but I'll go ahead and do that real quick, and I'll get back to the... Alright, here you go. Here's what I was talking about. So I was talking about... I was going to show this off, because it's kind of Disney-related, kind of not. I mean, Disney does own Family Guy now, so, I figured I'd point this out, because I'm just like... So this person's here saying, I'm calling BS... You make videos about Bob Iger and Family Guy. There's no way you haven't heard of her. So yeah, they had this whole thing at the end of the episode here about, like, I guess Madonna and all that. But I'm like, I don't know who the hell Madonna is. Apparently they're saying she's a singer and all. I'm like, but I definitely ain't full of shit. I'm guessing because maybe it's. Maybe it's because, I don't know, because maybe, is Madonna part of Disney or something? Like, did she do some songs with Disney? I don't know, it's just so confusing. See, there's people like that go on people and just, like, talk shit about it. I'm just like, okay, I don't care. I'm just like, but I'm just bringing that up because some people might think I'm full of shit, but I'm like, I'm not. I don't know who the hell Madonna is. I I didn't know she was a singer, you know, so I'm just like... But yeah, it's just kind of weird. That's pretty much what people do. They just comment on yourself and just, like, do that. It's kind of weird. But hang on, I'm actually going to go back to the video now. Okay, now we're back to the video. But yeah, I wanted to show you guys that comment because, like I said, that doesn't make any sense to me, you know, and I'm like, yeah, I definitely don't know who that Madonna is as a singer and all that, but yeah, I said there's just people like that on there that, you know, start some shit, but yeah, anywho though, I was gonna say too, you know, the reason why I thought about this too, because I do want to talk about Toy Story 5 too and all that, yeah, I was gonna say, well, first we're talking about Blue Sky. So Blue Sky, I was talking about how, they're basically kind of stuck, you know, kind of in a similar situation with Pixar, where they only have, like, 7 movies, which is really ironic, because technically, yeah, there was only, like, 7 movies, unless, of course, Ratatouille was part of that deal, you know, well, they were part of that deal, you know, but, like, when Bob Iger bought out, you know, Pixar. Like, I don't remember, like, how many films they had as deals before, you know, the movies would have been licensing out to somebody else. You know, but yeah, it's kind of like that with Blue Sky, you know, Blue Sky Studios. Not the website, but, you know, Blue Sky Studios, you know, the part of the Fox, so that made Ice Age and all that. Because they only have a certain amount of films that exist, I guess they're trying to, like, keep the films alive, which I'm like, instead of fucking making these pointless sequels, I'm like, if you want to, like, bring back Blue Sky Studios, like, can't they just, like, I don't know if they can do this or not as easily, but I'm like, can't they just bring back the studio, like, you know, they shut them down, they own the fucking studio, so why can't they bring it back? I don't know, instead we gotta have an Ice Age 6 and all that, or Ice Age 7, because technically they had Buck Wild, which, honestly, I consider more of a sequel than a freaking spinoff, because, it focused more on Crash and Eddie and not really Buck. I mean, it had moments with Buck Wild in it, and like, apparently he was part of this, you know, herd and all that, you know, like, or not this herd, this, like, team and all that, which never was brought up before, but, I don't know, I think that people are just pretending that movie doesn't exist, but, I don't know, I'm like, yeah, that's kind of the problem with that, you know, and I think that movie's not going to do very well next year. I mean, it might make some money, but I think people are like myself, are just so pissed off over what Disney did to, you know, Blue Sky Studios. I think they're just like, I mean, some people don't care because, you know, the studio didn't have the best track record of movies compared to Pixar and DreamWorks. And, yeah, it had some problems, but it still had some very good movies in it, you know, and then, like, they, like I said, they shut that down and all that, and then, you know, like, you know, Toy Story 5, I think that movie might make some more money than, you know, than Ice Age 6, you know, will, but, you know, I'm just like, you know, Toy Story 5, I'm not saying the movie won't be bad, but I want to clarify that, yeah, the fourth one, you know, kind of, well, told the, like, the remaining stories, I feel like there's not really a lot else I think they can tell. I guess they do have an interesting plot, which I figured, I kind of wanted to make this on a separate video, but I might just go ahead and talk about it here. Yeah, so Toy Story, you know, 5, Toy Story 5's plot is going to be about, like, computers taking over the world and all that, and have, like, this frog-looking, you know, tablet or something, I don't know what the heck it is, and be the villain and all that, and I'm just like, I mean, it seems like a good idea, but so did Toy Story 4 with Bo Peep, and they managed to fuck that up. And, you know, I'm not gonna lie, speaking of comments, I talked about the comments earlier, yeah, I had some people say, like, in one of these videos, like, people get so salty and get, you know, throw a hissy fit about people not liking Toy Story 4, and I'm just like, okay, I mean, if you like the movie, it's fine, but there's a reason why a lot of people don't like it, including myself. Like, I hated what they did with Bo Peep. I mean, it's one thing to, you know, like, to make her kind of like this action, you know, hero and all, which a lot of people, you know, were talking about how it's like femalism and all that. And I'm like, it's not. I think it's just like, I think they handled that part very well and all that. But and some people are like bitching about that, like with me, and I'm like that's not why I don't like Bo Peep. I don't like Bo Peep in the fourth movie because they ruined her character. See, in the first two movies, she was like, Bo Peep was this character that was very smart and always looked after Woody and all that, and like she was very smart and all that, and she was always one step ahead. And then Toy Story 4, they fucking ruined her character and all that, and they made her like Woody was going to rescue Forky from this evil doll, or supposedly evil doll, because they fucked her character up too, because I don't think they knew what the hell they were doing with Gabby in that movie, but they were like kind of going back and forth. So when you watch the movie, you're kind of confused on like, is she a villain or is she not? I don't know. It felt kind of like they were kind of scrambling ideas there. But like Woody was trying to go rescue Forky, and Bo Peep did not do that. Bo Peep didn't do that. In fact, she was upset at Woody for doing that. And yeah, she was stuck on shelving for a long time, but that's not what Bo Peep would do. And that's kind of the thing, though. That's what I was getting at. Like, I don't like what they do with Bo Peep. And they also pushed a lot of the characters aside, too. So I'm like, Toy Story 5, are they going to do that again? Are they going to make a shitty villain and, like, or it has to be misunderstood. I don't know if it'll be a female villain or not, but does this villain have to be misunderstood or something? Or can we actually have an actual fucking villain in the movie, Not to mention, I said, that was another big issue I had with Toy Story 4, was most of the characters were pushed aside from the first three because the voice actors passed away and all that, and I'm just like, I did not like Toy Story 4. I wanted to like it, but I definitely did not like it. I had problems with it. It definitely wasn't the worst Pixar movie, but it was definitely dog shit. I didn't like it. And the thing is too, when I feel like too, I'm gonna point this out. This is something funny that's also been going on with YouTube as well. I've been noticing like a lot of comments have gotten deleted too. Like if I call out this shit, like a lot of comments get deleted. I'm not even trying to shit post anything. Like, I don't do that. I don't harass people. I'm just like throwing my opinion out there. I've noticed sometimes they'll randomly get deleted or something like that, and I'm just like, I don't know, there's some weird stuff going on there. And then like, same with like, this, like this person, like I said, I think his channel is called What's on Disney Plus or something like that. Or like, I don't remember what his channel is, but honestly, I don't like this guy. I thought I would like him at first, because I was like, he's a good YouTuber to keep up with the news and all that. But then I noticed, like, he starts getting kind of salty with it, and I think he's one of those people that kisses Disney's ass. Like, I feel like no matter what, like, I don't feel like he would probably call out their shit, but I don't know. But he makes these, like, hour-long videos and all that. I don't sit around and watch them, but, I mean, I've watched quite a few of them, and yeah, I feel like he's a bit too positive with some of the stuff that they've been doing and all that, and even Hulu, like, so, that's one of my comments I got deleted. I was talking about, like, how Hulu, like, Disney stupidly paid for Hulu and all that. They stupidly paid for it. And yeah, they did. They shouldn't have bought Hulu. And somebody's like, well, they have a 55 million subscribers. And yes, they do, on Hulu and all that. But I'm like, a lot of these people are probably going to unsubscribe because, like, a lot of the content on Hulu is disappearing because the licensing fees are ending, and these studios are taking their stuff and putting it on Netflix and all that, And I was pointing that out. Like, I wasn't being rude or anything, and then the comments are not showing up. I mean, it could be my phone too, but apparently other people have been having problems too. So I don't know. I don't know what's going on. It is very, very weird. There is some weird stuff going on YouTube and all that, and I'm just like, I don't know. I'm just like, I don't know. I'm at this point where I'm just like, I'm at the point where I'm like, I don't know. I just don't know what to think about that. But yeah, there's just a bunch of crap going on about that. But again, I want to clarify too. Like, I want to state this, that I don't want to say Toy Story 5 is going to be bad. I definitely think it's unnecessary, but I'm like, I probably won't have a problem with it if they make a good villain and actually utilize the characters. But I'm afraid they're going to get pushed aside because of the voice actors who passed away. Because that's what it felt like with Toy Story, 4. They instead of like hiring a different voice actor to voice Mr. Potato Head, they just reuse his damn lines from the first 3 movies. And I think some of the shorts. So Woody, and that's Woody, I mean, so like, Mr. Potato Head and all that is just pushed aside. And I have a feeling, too, it's going to be the same way with, like, in this movie, too. And we've had more characters who have passed away since then. We lost the voice actor of Mrs. Potato Head. I think she passed away, I believe, in 2020. She passed away and all that. And then we actually, we've lost the voice actor of Slinky years ago. Like, he was the person who plays Ernest. I forgot his name, but the actor, who played Ernest, but he voiced Slinky in the first couple movies. He did have a lot more, voices and voice work in that movie. So I don't know if like maybe they recast him with a sound alike or something. I don't know, but I hate that. I know you're supposed to respect the voice actors and all that, and the actors in general who play the characters, but I'm like, if you're gonna make a fucking sequel to a damn movie, or you're gonna continue a damn show, instead of fucking killing the damn characters off or pushing them aside, I'm like, just fucking hire new actors. Like, I don't know, I'm just like, because that's the problem, they kill these characters off, and then the franchises that they're in don't feel the same anymore without them, I mean, you could kill off a few characters. I mean, in Cars, for example, like, yeah, the voice actor of Doc Hudson passed away, and they basically rid him off the show where he, died and all that. And then in the third movie, they actually, made a good thing with it. But that's the problem, too. I'm just like, I don't know, I feel like, again, they could do so much more with these characters, too, so I just get so mad about that. But I think I want to make a separate video talking about my thoughts on it, but I talk about it so much anyway, but I'm like, I still think I want to talk about it separate, because I have a lot to say about that, but, yeah. But yeah, I don't know how to feel about these sequels and all that. I mean, I'm looking for possibly maybe to Incredibles 3, because I actually didn't think Incredibles 2 was as bad as other people thought. I kind of enjoyed it. Not as much as the first movie, but I definitely enjoyed it more than some of the other sequels that Pixar has made. But I definitely don't think it was as good, as the first one. But I mean, with that one, I thought there's more they could tell. With Toy Story 5, I'm like, I don't know how to feel about that. And then they're making by the way, they're making a fucking Cars 4 too. Yeah, they have a Cars 4 they're making too, which I'm just like, I'm like, what can they do with a Cars 4, like, I don't know, I feel like I don't know, I mean, they could probably do some more stuff with it, too, but I'm like, that's the problem with Cars, like, I say Cars is probably the weakest of the Pixar trilogy, like, it's definitely not, like, as well received as other ones. I mean, there are other movies that have done worse and were worse received than, than Cars. Like, a lot of people don't like Cars 2, but a lot of them, the first and third one are not as well hated as the second one. And even then, I'm like, like, yeah, there are other movies like Brave, which is very boring, and then they also made The Good Dinosaur, and then they've again, Lightyear was awful, but that's the thing, though. That's the thing, they were bad movies, but they felt like, they didn't have sequels to them. So they're not really considered a trilogy. But, for, Cars is like a trilogy. It basically, is one of the trilogies, and just not well known. It's basically like the open season of, Pixar, I will say these movies are definitely way more enjoyable than fucking, the open season movies. Open season movies were bad. Like, they were really bad. Like, I think there was, like, one that was okay, but most of the movies were really bad. Like, I did not like the movies at all. I did not like them. But yeah, I don't know. But yeah, but the fact is, like, again, we have, like, original movies that are good, like Elio and all that, not performing well. I'm just like, I think it's just gonna make, give them more excuses to, like, make more sequels and all that to these movies. Hell, that's pretty much what they're doing. It seems like, I said, Iger announced that they're gonna make, that they're gonna make, like, more sequels and, like, original movies. They're gonna make original movies still, but they're gonna take breaks from them, longer breaks. So, like, Pixar, for example, if they're talking about making, like, they're gonna try to make, original movies and all that, like, but they're gonna be doing it, I think, like, every 3 sequels they'll get an original movie or something like that, which I'm just like 3 sequels and then original movies. So that means we're going to get less original content coming out of Disney and all that. And Disney really needs to, help with this stuff, because Disney's not doing well at all. Like, they're cutting costs and all. I think I've talked about this before. I'll say it again. Yeah, Disney. I think the only way the company's going to get saved is if somebody comes in and buys them out, or they fucking, fire Bob Iger, kick his ass out the door, like they did with Michael Eisner, and then, like, hire new people to come in and, like, fucking, kick everybody else out of the studio, like. The problem is, though, is I don't think that's gonna happen, because I think Iger's got too much power. But honestly, CEOs in general anymore, I'm like, I feel like it's gotten a lot harder. I brought this up before, I think, because I actually haven't uploaded this video yet, but I was doing a little fun video for you guys, a prediction of what would happen if Universal bought Disney. That was more of just a fun video. It's not like it was gonna happen. Like, I mean, Universal could buy Disney, but I don't know if they will. I didn't brought that up in the video, but I've talked about how, I think it was that video, I talked about how it seems like it's getting harder and harder for people to fire CEOs and all that. Like, they got too much power, and that's the problem. That's why a lot of these, once well-known, companies are becoming shit. Because of that. They're becoming shit because of that, and that's why a lot of these places people like to go or like to shop at. Like, I talked about McDonald's. McDonald's is shit now, Disney and Warner Brothers are shit. Paramount's not bad, but it's not as good as it used to be. It's because they got too much, I think CEOs have too much power, which makes it harder for them to get fired. But they need to be fucking fired if they're doing a shitty job like this. And there's another video I actually want to talk about with Disney too, which this one would probably be good news, but I'm like, I don't know if it's going to be very good or not, but like, I don't know if it'll be very good or not, but like, it's about Star Wars and all that, but I'm hoping it'll be good, but I kind of want to talk about that in a separate video too, but we'll have to see what happens there. But that said, though, I do want to go ahead and let this video go, because I don't have a lot else to say. But I hope that Elio does a bit better, but I am kind of concerned. Like I said, it's not going to do well, or it'll make its money back, but it won't make enough back to really, make Disney, try to make more original movies. But again, I'm just like, I think, with the whole sequel stuff and all that, the sequels to these movies, I'm just like Disney either can, and like other companies can either like, they'll try to make a movie look very good, or they'll advertise them more than the other ones, so they make more money. But I think that's what happened with the sequel trilogy too. Like, Disney actually kind of pulled some numbers or something, because I think it's coming out now that those movies did not perform well in the theaters. But that's if they did not perform well in the theaters. But back when they first came out, Disney was bragging about how good these movies are doing and all that, and if you don't like the movies, you're a shitty person and all that, and it seems like that's not really the case now. I think it's because I think some people have kind of gotten into the company and hacked it, and got like secret information off the company. So this is kind of what's been happening here. I'm not saying you should hack a company, but I'm just like, because you can get in trouble. That's what happened to one person. They got in trouble, got sent to prison for like 5 years because of what they did. But I'm just like, that just kind of shows you how many things these companies can hide. They can hide stuff and all that, or fake their numbers or something and make something look good. It's like Disney Plus. Like, I don't think Disney Plus is doing as well as people think, because I'm like, they're laying off more and more people. They're trying to cut costs. And then, like, they're offering all these deals and all that, not to mention they bought out Fubo TV, which was a stupid decision, because I'm like, it was a waste of money. I don't know why they needed to buy it. Clearly there's some shit going on behind the scenes. They're not gonna tell you that, or they do. They're gonna blame it on like Chapek, COVID, the strikes, or we got the tariffs now from Trump and all that. I don't know. It's always fucking some sort of bullshit excuse. Instead of taking responsibility themselves, let's blame it on everything else, but not on the obvious, I don't know, but yeah, I will probably check. I will check this movie out, but I don't know if I'll be able to do it in the theaters or not, because I'm quite busy. But I'll try to go to the theaters and see it. Hopefully it's still in there, but I don't know if it will be or not. That said, though, I'm gonna go ahead and let things go from here. See you all later. It's getting kind of late, so yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and get going. See you guys later. Bye bye.